Talked about a vision. Sometimes, as he also mentioned, there's this confusion. You know, for me personally, I get confused between what is a mission, what is a vision, what does all this stuff mean. This very, very simple definition that I've come up with is a vision is the what you want to achieve or the where you want to go. Mission is how you get there. Okay? What, where versus how. That's what we're talking about. Some of us don't really like simplistic terms like that. We rather think very academically and very, very seriously about things. And so to help you guys out, I've brought Peter Drucker, the father of modern management, along with me to help us define what is meant by a mission or a mission statement. He says a mission is the primary guidance in creating plans, strategies, or making daily decisions. Now that's very complex to me. I like this part. It's an important communication tool. Okay? A mission statement is an important communication tool that conveys information about an organization's products, services, targeted customers, geographic markets, philosophies, values, plans for future growth, and all of its stakeholders. In other words, it's a sentence, as I said, that tells us how to get what we want, how to achieve our dream. Okay? Now, there's some very important things that actually Angelis touched on with the vision statement. It's very important to have a clearly stated vision statement, something that is very easy to understand for everyone. Nothing with metaphors, nothing with fruity language or anything like that that makes us a little bit confused, but rather something that is general yet specific, clear, concise, and generally very clear. Okay? So we want to always think when we're composing and creating a mission statement, we always want to think clarity. Okay? Is it clear? Okay? Oops, going another way. A mission statement can be thought of as a framework. Okay? A framework for guiding your behavior. Okay? It's kind of like this house. We know that when we've got a vision, the house, we want to have the vision. The framework keeps us within our working area. It is what helps us to align our behaviors so that we absolutely achieve the vision we're looking for. Okay? And Angelis touched on this. This is a very key point. A lot of people who write personal missions, I want $1 million. Okay? Those are great. But one of the keys to actually achieving a vision and creating a mission statement that actually helps you achieve those things is targeting others. Okay? Whether it's a personal mission or an organizational mission. You always want to consider targeting others. How are you going to help people? What service are you going to offer people? Okay? A good mission statement tends to answer, this comes from Forbes magazine, apparently Forbes knows a little bit about business and a little bit about organizational things. This comes from Forbes, and they say that all mission statements should be subjected to the 4-question test. Okay? Does the mission statement, number one, no mission statement should ever be more than 4 to 5 sentences. If you can get it down in 1, then you're awesome. And it should always answer these questions. It should answer, what do we do as an organization, or what do I do as a person? How do we do it? Whom do we do it for? There's that personal aspect. And then what value are we bringing to the marketplace? This is a very key point. Okay? We should always consider these questions when designing and developing a mission statement. If you take a look at Toastmasters' mission statement sometime, not right now, if you take a look at it's actually on your agenda, you'll notice that it actually answers all of these questions quite clearly. All right, so I like to be very direct and clear in my transition, so now I'm transitioning. Now we're going to talk about how to build this tool to get you where you want to go. All right? So keeping with our airplane metaphor, we're going to design the airplane, create the pilot, etc., etc. Right? One of the most important things that they talk about in Toastmasters and elsewhere is that whether you're designing a personal mission statement or an organizational mission statement, you always want to involve other people. Okay? It is a team-based activity. Now, part of that has to do with what comes later, the communication aspect. When people are involved together in developing a mission, then people take ownership of that mission. If they're involved in the development of the vision, they take ownership of that vision. It's not just a process where the boss comes down and says, "You, do what I want." It's not like that. Instead, people take ownership when they create this. So creating any kind of mission, even if it's your personal mission, you want to involve other people in it. Okay? Other people help give us perspective. They help guide us and help us focus what we're trying to achieve. And also, it's good to be with people. Right, one of the processes that we want to do is when we get together with people, usually there's a brainstorming session. We're trying to clarify a bunch of things. What is it that we do? What do we want to do? All this stuff. one of the things that is recommended is that we write down all the beliefs that are important to us, both as an organization, if we're developing an organizational mission, and personally, if we're developing a personal mission. What are our beliefs? List them. Okay, don't just think about them. Don't just think about them. A lot of people like to be a little bit lazy that way and say, oh yeah, I've thought about everything. But it isn't until we take our pen and we actually symbolize our thoughts on paper, turn them into symbols that we can read and reflect back to us. It isn't until we do that that they become real. Write them down. Write down all your beliefs. That's the same for values. Okay? What values does your organization hold dear? What values do you hold dear? You know, do you value truth as an organization? Do you value quality, etc.? Write those things down. The same goes for goals. Okay? Now, all vision has, it's out there. It's far ahead of us than what we are right now. No one, one of the quickest ways to failure is to actually think that you can jump instantly into vision. Okay? You can't. You have to do small goals to get there, those midterm, mid-range goals. Okay? So when you're doing this process of designing your mission statement, you want to come up with all the goals. So write them down. Okay? Again, write them down. And then here comes the hard part. Prioritizing them. Okay? Deciding what your top, if you've got a list of 10 beliefs, 10 values, and 10 goals, decide what are the top 3 of each? What are the top 2? What are the top 1? Okay, for each category. And when you've got that, this is the thing, you're going to start writing. You're going to start writing your mission statement. You're going to come up with a rough draft. Now, I put this word on here because this is very, very important. It's important personally. It's important for everything. Life is a rough draft. It is never, ever, ever finished, and that goes for mission statements. If you're anything like me with a big ego, sometimes I'll write something and I'll be like, oh my God, I've created gold! And I hate changing it. I hate when somebody else comes along and says, it's not quite good, it doesn't quite make sense. I hate that. Okay? But if you have a rough draft mind, meaning that everything is a rough draft, then you can look at it and be like, okay, this is one example. Let's do that. Okay? Is Ann Elliott here? Ann? No? Okay. Ann does that with her designs. If you guys are involved with the conference at all, she's very good at creating rough drafts. Okay? This is very important. So come up with a rough draft and don't be so attached to it. After that, you're going to want to put it through a checklist. You're going to want to put it through a checklist of the criteria. Does anybody remember the criteria we put our mission statement through? The 4 questions. Okay? We ask ourselves, does it answer what do we do? Does it answer how do we do it? Does it answer who do we do it for? And does it answer what value are we bringing? If it doesn't, then you're going to want to go through the iteration process, the repeat. Okay? Unless you're happy with it. If you're happy with it, then okay, no problem. But one of the best ways to get a very, very clear mission in order to achieve that very clear vision is to put it through this process and come up with what it is that you're trying to achieve, right? The final part of constructing a really good mission statement is communicating about it, okay? So it's touched on with the vision too. You've got to be talking about it. You've got to be talking, if you've designed it with a group of people, then it is everybody's responsibility in that group to go together and to talk about it in the organization, to keep talking about it. If it's personal, talk about it among yourself. Write it on your wall so that you see it every day. Okay? Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. And in talking about it, define what actions or behaviors you can do that align with that mission statement. Okay? Very, very important that you do that. Communication, as we all know, is a very important thing. And as Peter Drucker said, mission statement is a communication tool. Transition 2. Thank you. I've got a couple of points I want to make. I've got a couple of minutes, so I'm going to go through this. We'll go kind of quickly. This isn't part of Toastmasters' recommended structure, but that's okay. What I wanted to do is I wanted to give you some examples of some good mission statements, some bad mission statements, and some ugly mission statements. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at them and then we're going to evaluate them according to that criteria. The good comes from General Electric. It says, we have a relentless drive to invent things that matter. Before I go on, this is not my personal opinion. I got this information from a website called Strategic Management Insight, which they designed a methodology that helped determine what is a good mission statement and what is not. This was considered one of the top. We have a relentless drive to invent things that matter, innovations that build, power, move, and help cure the world. Doesn't that sound good? We make things that very few people in the world can, but that everybody needs. Does is a source of pride to our employees and customers who defines GE. I think it's wonderful. If we submit it to the tests, does it tell us what do we do? Yes, we invent things that matter. How do we do it? We do it through innovation. Whom do we do it for? The world. What value? Yeah, it says we do it for the world. Everyone that needs something. Okay? What value are we bringing? Well, we're bringing innovations. We're bringing power. We're building things that can cure the world. Right? This is very, very clear. So it's a good example of a mission statement. The bad. I think this is a big message from Mark Zuckerberg that he doesn't care. But here's the thing. Facebook's mission is to give people the power to share and make the world more open and connected. Thanks, Mark. What do? We give people the power. How do we do it? By helping them share. Whom do we do it for? The world. Okay? What value are we bringing? Openness and connectedness. Okay, so they answer all questions. But to me, there's still a lot of questions about exactly what they do. So, Management Insight website told us, Strategic Management website, Strategic Management Insight website told us that this is not so good. But now for the ugly. I like this. Arrogant. BMW is the world's leading provider of premium products and premium services for individual mobility. What do? I have no idea. How do we do it? By providing. Whom do we do it for? The world. What value are we bringing?
Premium service.
Premiumness? Productness? I don't know. The finale. No, I'm not going to move this time because I think that Hanjun is getting tired of moving the camera. So, the finale, thank you for that. I noticed that we're still almost out of time here. So, keeping with the airplane metaphor, instead of 3 takeaways, I've got 3 flyaways for you, okay? Number 1, missions are the key to getting your dreams off the ground. And I'm using dream in the term that Angelis defined it earlier, okay? Getting your vision off the ground. Missions are a communication tool. I found this is very interesting. They're a communication tool and they need to be communicated always. Missions are best when they are made for others with the help of others, right? With that, I've got a quiz for you. Very, very simple quiz. This is the formula I talked about today. Dream plus mission equals, Angelis? You weren't listening. Fred.
Dream and mission.
Yeah. Dream plus mission equals
Donut.
Goal. Goal.
all right. Getting your dreams off the ground. Thank you much, everybody.